I am making this announcement in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, laws of the state of New Jersey. The Borough Clerk has prepared a schedule of the meetings of the governing body of the Borough of Kenilworth for the year 2025. The Borough Clerk has posted a true copy of this schedule on the bulletin board located at the front entrance of Borough Hall, and has mailed true copies of this schedule to local source, the Star Ledger, and is maintaining a copy of this schedule in her office during the year 2025. Accordingly, the notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied in regard to this meeting. Please stand for the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Karlovic.
Here.
Councilman Boyle. Here. Councilman Finestrella.
Here.
Councilman Giordano Paserno.
Here.
Councilman Morrow.
Here.
Councilman Piper.
Here.
Council President Scurries.
Yeah, here.
All are present.
At this time, there is need to enter into executive session to discuss matters affecting pending or anticipated litigation to which the public body may be party, matters within the attorney-client privilege. Do I have a motion to go into executive session?
Motion. Second.
Motion made by Councilman Scurries, seconded by Councilman Finestrella. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, at this time, I ask the public to step out into the minutes of council meeting December 4th, 2025.
Motion.
Second. Roll call. Motion made by Councilman Morrow, seconded by Councilwoman Giordano Paserno. Was that right? Did I get that right?
Yeah, Joe and I are the same.
Okay.
Councilman Boyle.
Yes.
Councilman Finestrella.
Yes.
Councilman Giordano Paserno.
Yes.
Councilman Morrow.
Yes.
Councilman Piper.
Abstain.
And Councilman Scurries.
Yes.
Motion passes, Madam.
Motion to approve the minutes of executive session 12/4/25. We had executive session, and then we had the minutes of the regular meeting. So I'd like a motion to approve the minutes of the executive session from December 4th, 2025.
Motion. Second.
2024, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Same motion.
Sorry, it's okay. Motion made by Councilman Morrow, seconded by Councilman Boyle. Roll call.
Councilman Boyle.
Yes.
Councilman Finestrella.
Yes.
Councilwoman Giordano Paserno.
Yes.
Councilman Morrow.
Yes.
Councilman Piper.
Abstain.
And Councilman Scurries.
Yes.
Okay, finance report, Councilman Morrow. Sorry, it's gonna take me a second.
You need a cheat sheet.
I need a hot minute, I need a cheat sheet.
Well, I'll be quick. There's really nothing of substance to report on just yet for the Finance Committee. Right now, the Finance Department is closing out 2024. We've just started receiving in the individual departments' budget requests for 2025. So when those numbers are fully in, the committee will meet with the CFO, and we will start the budget process for the year. So that's all I have, Mayor, for now.
Thank you, Councilman.
You're welcome.
Okay, Department of Public Works is Councilman Boyle, Solomon?
Okay, the DPW responded to 2 emergency calls for a total of 8 hours. Christmas trees will still be picked up on curbside on Thursdays throughout January. Leftover residential Christmas trees can be also brought to the DPW yard for recycling. Snow and ice removal days per borough code unless otherwise posted on even numbered days, no parking on the even numbered side of the street, and on odd numbered days, no parking on the odd numbered side of the street. The 2025 DPW information guide with pickup dates has recently been mailed out. You can also see it online on the website. And that's all I got. I want to call Greg up real quick.
Excuse me, Councilman Boyle, what was the snow ordinance again? They didn't say.
Yeah, we wrote that down wrong, I apologize. That was the
Yeah, that wasn't
ordinance.
correct.
Yeah, it was an oversight on my part.
And I wrote-
Maybe we should restate it what it is so we don't confuse the public.
Yeah, Paul, do you remember exactly how it is? I know it's one side, I don't remember
You
the
don't,
side.
you don't park on the odd side.
It was the
No
outside?
matter the day, it doesn't matter.
Right.
We start off, we don't park on the odd
And
side.
then it's 2 hours after the snow.
After they plow.
It's over.
After they plow.
Yeah.
Because if they don't plow,
It's 2 hours after the storm is over. They have 2 hours after the storm is over to move to the even side, so you can come and plow the odd side.
yeah, once the odd side is
Right.
plowed, they move over, yes. They got 2 hours to move to the clear side,
Right.
because otherwise, if it's not plowed yet, no point moving the cars yet. They got 2 hours yet to move it, once they plow.
So I asked Councilman Boyle to let me come up and speak. You want to touch on the recycling program that I initiated last year where we went from single stream to dual stream? Wanted to let you know the results. So unfortunately, when we made this change is when we had the shortfall of recycling trucks, and we were only running 2 trucks most of the year. So I'd like to thank all the residents and governing body for being patient with DPW while we transitioned through that in the purchasing of new trucks, and now we're fully operational. With that being said, the cost savings that we incurred was pretty significant this year. As you'll see in my budgets, we saved on average 50% with bottles and cans by switching. By switching to dual stream, we eliminated a lot of excess waste. And Giordano Recycling was charging us $150 a ton for stuff they couldn't recycle. So by doing this, we eliminated that, and also by having the cardboard separated and clean, we generated a positive revenue on average of $1,000 a month.
That's great.
So if you combine the positive revenue plus the savings, we averaged a 65% cost savings for the entire year of 2024.
That's excellent.
Do you have a
Great job.
dollar on that?
It was 40 and like $52,000 to $53,000.
Excellent.
This is
Yeah.
for the recycling portion of the sanitation?
Just the curbside recycling.
Yeah, that's
That's
really
great.
So
great.
$53,000 in savings.
Yes.
That's significant.
Yeah.
Good
The
job.
operating budget was about $40,000 and then, and change, and then there was about roughly $12,000 positive revenue from just the cardboard.
Excellent.
Well done.
And we hope to increase that number a little bit this year by installing a cardboard compactor in our recycling center, because it'll keep it perfectly dry and will maximize our loads, so we won't have to transfer the dumpsters as frequently as we do with an open container. We'll maximize the volume, because they charge us $250 per transfer, and that cuts into the cost of cuts into the positive revenue we generate from collecting clean cardboard.
Is that the kind with the wire bill?
No, that's
Compress it
something,
in.
that's only done in commercial applications. This is going to be a fully enclosed dumpster, and attached to it is a hopper that's about 4.5 feet high, and you can dump it in there, and it has a hydraulic press that pushes it into the enclosed dumpster. And it keeps doing that until it's full, then the hopper stays permanently affixed to the ground, and then the company will come and just remove the dumpster and swap it out with an empty one.
Do we save because they're coming to us less?
Yes, that's how we'll save more money. We'll save more money because there'll be less trips, and it'll definitely keep the cardboard 100% clean, because right now with the open containers, some of it's getting wet. Stuff on the bottom probably stays wet from the water hitting it, never is able to dry out. And again, it's also fluffed. Even though we have a machine to push it down, we can't push it down as hard as a compactor will.
Excellent.
Yeah, I was going to ask how much a compactor costs.
The compactor, when you,
What do you mean, Ken, in 16 years, that truck will pay for itself
Yeah.
now with saving $50,000.
I am working on a deal with Giordano where he can let us have it for free as long as we let him change out the dumpsters.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This way too, you don't have the maintenance on it.
And if we ever cancel the contract, he'll just take it
Talk
back.
to the purchasing agent, please, and make sure we're following.
Yeah, we will.
Great, Greg.
And I'll have everything in writing as well. Yeah, and as you'll see in my budget request, I have asked to have the funds that weren't used this year allocated for our tree budget, so we can get more trees taken care of
Great.
and fulfill the needs, the residents' needs.
Great.
Now, last time we had that resident come up and talk about the trees, you still had a considerable amount left in the tree cutting budget. Have we used it?
Yeah, so the savings that we had, Ken authorized it to be moved over to the tree budget, and we got a lot of work done at the end of the year. We actually had a $41,000 PO generated between what was left in the tree budget and what was left over from recycling, and we are finishing up that PO right now with a lot of trees. That's what helped take down those trees over by the Pasadena Funeral Home and a bunch of other trees. We had found quite a few trees that were split down the middle in front of people's homes from storms. and we had those removed, and we're still working through it. We've probably got another week or two left on the PO, and then we'll start fresh again with a new budget this year.
Very good. So that's great. Well done, Greg. Really, this is amazing stuff. With the tree cutting budget specifically, we were tracking that over the last 2 years when we were lowering the budget amount that was allocated to it because it wasn't getting used. So maybe we need to look at what an entire year, and Ken will do this, we'll look at what you really need as opposed to what our historical spend has been. I mean, it's really the best way to work a budget. What do you really need? What have you been spending? So it looks like there's a little bit of out of whackness, if you will, on the tree shade budget.
Trees-
But we'll talk, I guess.
Yeah, trees in general in a whole need a healthy trim every few years. And it'll be a huge financial burden to try and do the whole town at once. So you just do it in sections or as needed, especially with storms coming up.
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is in prior years, and maybe this is because you're the arbor specialist, right? We weren't as diligent in taking care of the trees. So the budget was just sitting out there not getting used. It was coming back to the town. So we don't get as much in the next year. And it happened for a few years in a row. I think it was
Tree budget was always used every
Yeah,
year. We ran out.
No, it was not. It was not.
What years did that happen?
That
When
was
that
stated
resident was
last
here
year.
the other day, or last year, we identified there was a surplus in that budget even with the reduced amounts over the last 2 years.
That's
So I mean, that,
First I'm hearing this.
it was right here at the podium when the person came with the car.
I remember when the person
didn't
came,
hear, like-
but I didn't know we were out of,
Affirmatively said we had money left in the budget for the tree.
right, but we usually use it every year and run out.
Since I've been
Historically.
there, I've depleted it to almost
Right.
nothing.
Yeah,
Good, because in prior
Right.
years, that's not been the case. I mean, we were looking at
that's
the
a
numbers.
surprise to me.
This is my third year on the finance committee, and I know this has come up every year. So this, for the last couple of years, we've had that discussion. So I think it's time now to look at what you're using, what might be needed after you got an influx here. It sounds like you found some money somewhere else that came in. I mean, I'm not trying to pick on the tree shade budget by any means.
Yeah, I mean, it
Just trying
seems
get
to
the
be
numbers correct.
underfunded more than it's,
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
like a worse year though, were there a lot more trees taken down this year?
Well, the ash borer, sorry, which is an insect, devastated a lot of the ash trees in town. So that accounted for a lot of the removals in our town, as well as oak blight. That's another one that affects oak trees. So that one's...
That was all like Coolidge and Lincoln? those-
Yeah, that's all the oaks. So there was an oak blight that went through our town, and why it's actually been going through the whole East Coast. So that also accounted for a lot of it as well.
Is there any revenue in other recycled material besides bottles, cans, and cardboard, like electronics, construction material? I know for myself, I bring my used motor oil and the filter too. I didn't know you recycling filters.
So the used motor oil program is sponsored by Union County. We do benefit that through the recycling grant, but we don't actually get any money back, like quarterly or anything like that. We get the benefit of recycling in our town, like I said, through the recycling grant. They pay for all the materials and the setups and the publishing. It's countywide. Every town joins that program. As far as e-waste goes, we're talking a few $100 a quarter. So it's not a huge influx. Same thing with textiles. Bulk waste, there's no money to get from there. That's strictly out-of-pocket expense. But yeah, I mean, the more we recycle, the more we find ways of recycling materials, the bigger our recycling budget would be to help offset our operating costs.
I think you even went as far as styrofoam too, right? Remember?
Yeah.
We used to not do styrofoam and now.
Now, this is
you
our
drop it.
first year, so we'll see, we won't see that number in our recycling grant for 2 years. Because every grant is 2 years behind.
Thanks, Greg. That was a great job.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Very good.
thank you.
Thanks.
Anything else? Thank you, Councilman. Department of Public Safety, Councilman Fenestrella.
Thank you, Mayor.
Process of elimination.
For the month of December, Kenilworth Police Department responded to 957 calls for service, and there were 151 911 calls. There were a total of 664 and a half hours of overtime for the month, preliminarily for scheduled patrol OT, 552 hours, and dispatch OT, 60 hours. Kenilworth Police Department completed 552 hours of training for the month, which includes Arrive, firearms, UCERT, and various classes. Kenilworth PD also issued 135 traffic summonses. There were 15 sick days used, 1 sick occurrence, and there were 0 on-the-job injuries. Kenilworth Police Department received 337 total flock hot list alerts, and these cameras are in various locations of the borough. These hits are based on license plates having various violations for registered owners, etc. The system continues to assist officers to help deter actors from committing motor vehicle burglaries, car thefts, and attempts. But Kenilworth Police Department units respond to 7 high-priority flock alerts. Units were able to intercept the suspects before they were able to victimize Kenilworth residents. Kenilworth Police Department had 7 total arrests for the month. Kenilworth Police Department had completed dispatcher testing on December 3rd to fill 2 open spots created by sending 2 current dispatchers to the police academy in January of this year. 2 people were selected and are currently going through the hiring process. Kenilworth Police Department assisted with security and crossing residents for the tree lighting ceremony at Borough Hall on December 6th. Multiple Kenilworth police officers were in attendance. A message from the Chief of Police, again, seems repetitious, but he stresses that it remind all residents to lock their vehicles. We encourage our residents to call Kenilworth Police Department as soon as possible with any criminal or suspicious behavior, no matter how minor it may seem. The main construction project on the boulevard has come to an end. Hallelujah. The company had micro-milled several areas of the boulevard that were very bumpy and trying to provide a smooth roadway until paving in 2025. We are anticipating the whole boulevard to be paved in the early part of 2025. There are still other projects going on in the various parts of the borough. Please be patient when driving through the detours and be cautious of workers in the roadway. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Planning and Zoning, Councilman Scurries.
Thank you, Mayor. For Planning Board, we have 6 pending applications in different states of completion. 3 are incomplete, and if you're coming before the board, make sure your application is complete. It saves a lot of time and effort. If it's not complete, there's no way we can really move forward with it. Let's see. The Construction Department total for December of 2024, total receipts of $48,913, all different fees. And end of the year, number of permits was up 70,042. Fees down $604 for trust state. Zoning miscellaneous up $7,755. Trailer storage fees down $2,700. Road openings up 367. So, and I guess this is for some monthly total, up 163,993. And that's all I have to report, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Recreation and Fire, Councilman Piper.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, for the Recreation Department, the only thing going on right now is basketball, and we have 201 children registered with 17 teams across all age groups. The Fire Department report, the Fire Department responded to 42 calls in December. 1 car fire, 4 carbon monoxide alarms, 2 CPR, an elevator alarm, 15 fire alarms, 6 first responder, a fluid leak, 2 medical assists, 4 motor vehicle accidents, 1 mutual aid response, 1 to assist Roseville Park, 2 odor of gas, a power telephone cable line, 1 train, and 1 water flow alarm. During these incidents, the fire department traveled 116 miles, utilized 135.5 man-hours. The fire department rescue squad responded to 25 calls, traveling 226 miles, and utilized 85 man-hours. Additional man-hours utilized during the month included 263 hours administrative, Santa's Express 500, and stipend 1,364. Total calls for the month were 67, total miles traveled 409, and the total man-hours were 2,347. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman. Health, Education, and Welfare, Councilwoman Giordano Piserno.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll start with the library. I would like to just note that one of our board members passed, Mary Ellen Harris. Most people called her Mel. And aside from being a board member for many years at the library, she was a lifelong EMT. She was a member of the rec department, actually a Little League coach, St. Teresa's Youth Club, and of course, very politically active in Union County. So she really was the example of a Kenilworth resident who gives so much of her time, and she'll be missed in all these different areas and by her friends and family. Her services are on Friday. To the events at the library, the standard toddler and infant programs are being offered. However, there's a special event on Saturday, January 25th, which is a weaving demonstration and items to be purchased. That's from 10 to 1 p.m. on Saturday the 25th. The activity room renovation is a little bit stalled because they decided to paint before they put the new floors down. So tomorrow night at our meeting, we'll be looking at proposals from different contractors to do the painting and then move on from there. All the activities at the library are posted on the library website, and you get that link through the borough website, but their phone number is 908-276-2451. For the senior center, there are various activities going on: line dancing, fitness, bowling, Zumba, chair yoga, strength and balance, and ceramics. However, tomorrow, the AARP has a smart driver safety course from 9:30 to 3:30. It costs $20 for AARP members, $25 for non-members, and if you take the course, you are eligible for a discount on your auto insurance. So because it's tomorrow, I'm sure they could fit you in. If you would like to attend, call the senior center. It does start at 9:30 in the morning, and the number for the center is 908-276-1716, and it's 9:30 to 3:30 tomorrow. January 27th, the health nurse is there to do free screening for blood sugar and blood pressure. The Board of Health, we had a reorg meeting last week on the 9th. Marconi ran the meeting. Randy is out recovering from surgery, but will be back soon. However, Marconi did post a full-time position for the registered environmental health specialist. We had several applicants. 2 were being called in for interview, and if we settle on someone for a full-time position, we will no longer need the shared services of unions. So I'll let you know how that goes. Board of Education, we had our meeting this past Monday night. The new officers were sworn in. The president was re-elected, Dr. Panici. So everything is moving along smoothly. I'm sure everybody's aware there was a broken sewer line, but within 24 hours, they had it repaired. The kids only lost a half a day, and school was reopened. And Harding School's renovation is at the punch list stage, so they're almost done there. And Brarley's projects are running on schedule. And that's all I have.
Thank you very much,
You
Councilwoman.
mentioned something, I'm sorry, Mayor,
Yeah.
about the Board of Health position and potentially hiring a full-time employee and then not going through with the shared service agreement with union.
Yes.
Would that impact us financially? Because I know that we were
It would be a
seeing
savings. Yeah, it
To
would be
hire
a-
our own would be a savings?
Yes,
Interesting.
I don't know
yes.
how that would be.
Yeah, but-
What was that?
Pay benefits and the pension?
Yeah, but their contracts would be greater than the full-time position. That was part of the discussion. And well, aside from that, we'll have better coverage, because right now, it's 2 hours each person. You never know who's there, when they're there. Sometimes it's closed. So that is their goal.
So Marconi, we wouldn't have him anymore, so he's still going to be...
Correct. He'll be just doing some basic admin work. And I forgot to mention, the Board of Education is seeking substitute teachers. And it's a decent salary. It's right on the website. You could apply, and I believe it's $125 a day. So if anybody's interested, it's, you go as, you take your position as they call you if you want to, so I would encourage people who have the credentials to apply.
Yeah, I think you need 60 college credits.
Yeah, it's not, yeah.
I'd
So,
like to add to the passing of Mel Harris, to get into details, you can call it Opacity or Opacity. It's from 3 to 8 on Friday, and then the funeral will be 10:30 in the morning Saturday
Yeah.
at St. Teresa's.
and that's all I have.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Borough Engineer.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. We really only have one thing going on right now, which is the sidewalks out in the front of the building here. They've made some progress. They're kind of working around the weather, so when it gets cold, they shut down. As soon as they get a window of some warmer weather, then they'll start up again. So, as you can see, they have the kind of the two sides done. We purposely told them to wait and do the front entrance last, just in case there was going to be delay. We didn't want to not have the front entrance available. So as soon as they get another window of good weather, warmer weather, then they'll jump in and get the front part done. So that's all I have.
Thank you.
Vernon Ave, where are we with Vernon Ave? Is that on hold for now? or-
Vernon?
Yeah.
Oh, with the sidewalks?
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll do that as soon as they get a opportunity to go out there. But yeah, that will get done. I think the handicap ramps are pretty much done. So it's just you got to work around the weather.
That's the stretch of blacktop that we're adopting, we're discussing with the Parkway, trying to get them to do it.
Which one is that?
That's on Vernon, right?
Well, we're gonna do the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Well, the portion in the borough right away, obviously, that the borough's going to be responsible for. But the portion under, I think under the Parkway, Mark, did they commit to doing that or not? I don't know.
I'm going to agree with them.
They didn't to me.
They didn't, right? No.
Correct.
So directly underneath the bridge, they clean it and maintain it
Okay.
on a regular basis because of,
Is the sidewalk in good shape then?
yeah, it is in good shape, but it's mostly for health aspect of pigeon droppings because they're toxic to humans. So they're constantly cleaning that up whenever the complaints come in. Yeah, the graffitios as well, yeah.
Tony, we had that resident send an email on Monroe and 24th sidewalks. Anything ever happened with that?
What was the address, Councilman?
Monroe and 24th, it was, I think, sent to you, me, and the Tower Harbor.
I'll have to look into that. I don't recall. I may have passed that on to someone else in my office. Monroe and 24th, okay.
Mayor, is that the right address? I think
Doesn't-
you-
doesn't-
I have to look it up.
Yeah, it's Monroe Avenue and 24th. Something
Oh, yeah, I know
about
what you're talking about.
seating and the sidewalk area needing to be resoiled.
Yeah, no, I know, I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're going to take care of that. That was from the new work that was being done.
Right.
Right, yeah, okay. No, I got it, yeah. That'll be taken care of.
Okay, great.
Yep.
And I saw some progress with the gas company. Well done on that.
Yeah, I did talk to them today, and
was
they're
great.
promising to check next week. They were supposed to have it last week. I got a call today. They wanted, I was surprised. They said, who do we make the check out to? I was like, you got to be kidding. So, I was like, I don't know if that was just, they were stalling, but I said, yeah, when you get us a check, we'll release the permit. So they want to start, so they're promising it next week. We'll see. No.
Fingers crossed.
Yep, no, see how it goes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Borough CFO.
Thank you, Mayor. As Councilman Morrow had mentioned, we closing out the books. That's just about wrapped up. We got the auditors in, working on the unaudited financials, the annual debt statement. We're working on 1099s, W-2s, the UCC annual report, and the 2025 budget. That's it for now.
Great.
Real quick, Ken, when do we have to have the budget? By the spring, right?
Yeah, April 5th.
The new date is, it's got to be introduced by the end of March or our first meeting in April, and it's got to be adopted by the end of April or the first meeting in May.
Now, how do we make a budget? We don't know how much money we're dealing with. We're just going to estimate?
Well, that's
what they're working on.
Pending.
That's unfortunately how a budget works. It's always going to be an estimate. You know, we don't know all solid, some of the costs we do know, but everything else is a guesstimate in our best basis, so.
Okay.
All right?
Borough Attorney.
Good evening, Mayor. I don't have anything to report this evening.
Okay, thank you. Borough Administrator.
On January 14th, I attended the POSHA training. The Union County infrastructure inspection passed for the infrastructure grant. That was the roof replacement as well as the installation of the water fountains. And because of that installation, we will be shortly, we're going to start touching up the paint and giving Borough Hall a little overall refresh. The administrator, okay, so I'm still onboarding with some of the state and federal agencies because I can give them my information, but I have to wait for them to approve. But can help with that as far as SAGE goes, but I still have a few out there pending, but that's going along as expected. We have a JIF Safety Committee meeting that's going to be on the 28th. We're going to go and do a 2024 review, and for 2025, we're going to review our objectives, goals, and discuss wellness initiatives. That's all I have.
I have a question. Was there training or something that all council members are supposed to do?
Yeah.
You ordered that in case we need to do any or somebody's missing something? We can be able to make that up?
I'm going to discuss at the JIF committee meeting with that, and we can probably assign you, and you'll probably get an email. If it works the way it used to work when I was here, it's just a matter of me sending you the email information. You can log on at your leisure. So it's not, they do have live training, but it seems to be that the web-based training works out better. So this way, you know, if you're up late at night and you need something to do, you can sign on, spend 45 minutes, half hour, and do the training online. And it'll record it.
If I know the name of it, because there's a lot of things that come through, I'm like, I don't know what this is, I'm not opening it. You can open up a
Well,
spam.
I'll send you an email to let you know what's coming. Once we
Yeah,
have
if I know the name, I'll open it.
Yeah, once we have the meeting, I'll myself know what it's going to come from, and because it's not the same provider it was when I was here before. So.
Ironically, what you're saying is the best practices that they teach you in the link that you won't open because you don't know what's from.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and where I work, they have a phishing thing, but still, I don't know what it is. And it even gives you, you don't normally get, and this is from outside your district or whatever, like a warning, so I'm like, I'm not opening it.
Yeah, I will definitely give you a heads up once I know, more details myself.
Okay, thank you.
Laura, I have one thing too. We had our Rotary meeting today, and I went on JC Promotions website, and it said May 18th, but not confirmed. Almost every town said not confirmed. How do we?
Well, I actually was going to bring that up.
We were going to discuss that this evening.
We're going to discuss that. We can discuss it now, actually. The street fair.
Street fair.
And there has also been conversation about possibly having 2 street fairs, one in the fall and one in the spring. I don't know how everyone feels about that, but we should pick a date for May. Is that we know we definitely want to do? And I'd like to know what people, what's that?
That's the available date. We have
That's the only one?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
Is everyone good with May 18th?
I'm good with that. It's the week before Memorial Week.
Everyone?
So that's perfect.
May 18th?
Good?
It's a Sunday.
Everyone?
Yeah, it's always on.
Okay.
Yeah.
And does anybody have any thoughts about having conversation about doing something in October?
I like the carve it out stuff that we're doing. If it can be maybe either combined with some of that, I wouldn't want to not do that.
We do have a lot, well, the Carve It Out is separate, and the Halloween events are separate. This would be
No, not the
like a,
not the DeMario stuff. Like what were we talking, like an Oktoberfest kind of a celebration?
That's what it was years ago.
Yeah, we used to have that. It was actually really nice because no one does street fairs in the fall, and it kind of was fun to have something to do and sort of get out before winter.
That doesn't cost the borough anything, right? Do we make?
Well, that's, I think our chief of police is going to weigh in on here.
Listen, I've been doing this for almost 30 years. Originally it was in October, it was pushed earlier because people felt better weather, would bring more people.
Daylight, I think it would have to do with the daylight, DPW cleaning up.
My concern is this, if we do implement another street fair, that is a financial burden to what I'm looking at right now for overtime.
Okay.
That's something we would have.
All right, so that's a conversation, all right, that's a,
Okay.
okay.
That in consideration.
All right, so let's put that on the back burner then, for now. Until we don't want to spend money we don't have, for sure. All right, so the street fair will be May 18th.
Got it.
All right?
Do we have a rain date, or do we,
I don't know that we get a rain date. It's like either rain, if it rains, we don't have it. It's just,
Because JC Promotions is already booked
they're
every
booked
Saturday and Sunday.
every
Okay.
weekend, yeah.
so, if it rains, no good.
So,
One
but
question.
we usually have beautiful weather for the street fair. Every year we do.
Now, why did they say? Yeah, we used to.
Gotta make sure it's real wood. Now, my understanding is that the borough's not allowed to make any money off this, but we are allowed to at least break even. So, I guess we would have to calculate what we need to charge vendors or whatever to cover overtime, DPW or
Well,
whatever.
I think that's a really good conversation to have, and I think that the street fair should not cost the borough any money. So,
It all goes to JC Promotions.
I mean, is there a conversation that we can have with them about, and perhaps the chief could sort of give us a budget of what it costs the borough, and then we can see?
We allocate so much of our overtime specifically for certain events across the year.
Right.
That specifically because we're looking at usually 10 officers.
Right.
For a full day, that's a very big amount. So we kind of try to incorporate that part out of our budget. Ken and Lisa Wood have always been very good about letting us know where we're at with our budget, but I know a big portion of it is selected, put aside for that.
And then the DPW.
And I'm sure DPW.
DPW too. All right, so can we have a conversation about this? Is it possible just to get a number?
I have submitted in the past.
So then, if we have something concrete, we can maybe have a conversation with JC Promotions?
Mayor, if I may, I have submitted in the past, at the end of that month, what it costs specifically for street fair overtime.
Perfect.
Carnival overtime, that would be notated in the notes in the finance office. So they will
Okay.
have a specific number
Right.
what we're looking at.
All right, if you could maybe provide that to the borough clerk, please. Yeah,
Mayor, if I
perfect.
may, events like these are more, to bring the community together. It's never been considered a revenue generator.
Right.
JC Promotions does pay us a fee, a nominal fee. Ken, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but
I remember last
It
year.
was 5,000?
Conversations with them, no, it dropped down.
it dropped down even more.
Yeah.
Because when we first started this,
I want to say it was $2,600, but I gotta go back and check.
Okay. Because when we first started this years ago, I believe we were around 8,000, and then it dropped down to 5.
For some reason, I have the number $2,600 in my head from last year, but I will talk with Lisa and we'll put that.
I mean, perhaps we can just revisit this contract with them.
Well, can't, we could do a 50/50 or something, or, my understanding, like you said, we're allowed to at least break even to recover our costs. Maybe we could do a little something alongside what JC's doing. To generate, to offset a little bit, it's tight times, you know?
Like a super 50/50?
The
Something
borough
wrong,
did not
you know.
conduct a 50/50. We are not registered with the state for that. If there was another organization that wanted to do that, say the fire department who has a registration,
So Lillian and them used to do it.
They may be able
We
to.
did it as a town. years ago.
Well, they probably weren't allowed to do it. Just because you did it doesn't mean you can.
Are there other companies that we could talk to? Like, I don't know.
Possibly, this late in the game, that may be a consideration for
They have a lot of
2026
vendors.
to reach out.
Yeah, they do have a lot of
Because at this point
vendors.
in time, they're already booked up.
Yeah.
Do we already have their agreement for the year?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Right now, we're just looking to secure the date, because we've been using them for the last, I don't know, 8 years, 10 years.
I mean, the street fair is very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if there's ways that we can reduce our costs, great. Okay, is that all?
I don't know when we're going to be talking about the parking lot. I mean,
It's going to come at the end. We're already going to talk about it.
Okay, we're not ready yet?
Yep.
Okay.
Consent.
So Mike, we have some downtime. We do the fire department. Can we use your license to generate revenue for the borough?
He'll get it, and then out of the borough.
Generally sell tickets at that, so
Oh, you have your own thing?
I don't think we'll get, you
Oh, all right, then we'd be in competition.
can
All
always use them, you can always pay some more.
right.
You could run a raffle and then donate it to the borough.
Just gotta get the license.
Without a registration, I don't want to hear about it.
That's what I'm saying, we gotta get.
Games and Chances in Newark, I know the address. I do. Yeah. Little League does it. 'cause
I
they
don't
do
think
it.
you've met the Italians.
So next up is the consent agenda. All matters listed under the consent agenda will be enacted upon by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. All items will be recorded individually and in full in the minutes.
Okay, next for council consideration is the consent agenda. Let the record show that the resolution 25-60 approving the bill list has been reduced by $380 to reflect an adjustment made to a purchase order issued to Home Depot. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Fenestrella, seconded by Councilman Scurries.
Councilman Boyle?
Yes.
Councilman Fenestrella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Giordano Bruno?
Yes.
Councilman Morrow?
Yes.
Councilman Piper?
Yes.
Councilman Scurries?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, at this time, I'd like a motion to open the floor to the public.
Motion?
Second?
Motion made by Councilman Morrow, seconded by Councilwoman Giordano Paserno. Does anyone, all in favor?
Aye.
Does anyone have anything to say for the good and well-being of Kenilworth? Please come forward and state your name and address. Okay, seeing no one, can I have a motion to close the public portion of the meeting?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Councilwoman Giordano Paserno, seconded by Councilman Scurries. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next we have a workshop item to discuss the restructuring of the municipal parking lot on North 21st and 22nd Street.
I just have a quick question. On the diagram, it says mill and overlay.
Copy
I think
that.
it might have just been an old
Here.
plan that was used. I don't think we're milling the parking lot again, right? We're just restriping one side.
Restriping.
Okay, because it says mill
Unfortunately,
and overlay.
I printed that, it was in the email.
That print is not going to have in the print that I sent you by your email, it's outlined in red,
Yeah.
the suggested changes.
Yeah, but I just saw that, and I was just hoping we were. It was an old one.
Just reshaped.
Okay, I'm good.
You go with the lines and all that? 'Cause
Yeah,
I
I
have-
remember that
I
was-
have-
So how many more parking spots are we gaining?
Tony, do you remember the numbers? Like
Four.
Four, but some of them
Four
are
spots.
handicap spots, which is important because this is the senior lot. Yeah.
So we're gaining 4 spots.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Gaining 4, but again, it's
Excellent.
like 2 more handicap. So of the 4, 2 are handicap. Is that correct?
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and it doesn't affect what the business owners are doing. I mean, they're going to have to maybe tweak what they're doing a little bit. They can continue to be able to access their dumpsters and their, where they park their van and things like that. So it's a win-win, it borough gains the parking and business owners can still.
Yeah, it's great.
And Mayor, to that point, Councilman Morrow suggested that letters be sent out to the business owners to let them know this was going to be discussed this evening, so this way they had an opportunity to come and speak.
Yep, saw that. That was smart. Good thinking. We had no one speaking about it, so.
No, thank you. Well, that was your idea. I agree with it. There are some paintings over spots on borough property back there that will be addressed.
Okay. Does anyone have anything else to discuss?
I have a couple of things. No, before now, in the next meeting, everybody obviously knows to remember to put their TVs on to watch the inauguration on January 20th. February 1st, the PBA is going to host a benefit for, what is it? I guess the PBA. It's going to be a wrestling
It's a fundraiser.
fundraiser. February 1st.
I believe, yes.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
6 o'clock, I think.
I'm gonna write
Yes,
that.
just want to make sure I have the correct date.
Yeah, the wrestlers.
Put me on the spot. February 1st, it's a second wrestling event. And we're going to provide entertainment over at the VFW. I don't have the exact hours. You can see that if you Google it online. It's on our, I believe, our Facebook page. What we have is it's a wrestling event open to the community. Bring your family, have a good time. It was a great event last year. We're hoping to, make it even better.
You said 6 p.m.?
I didn't say that. I'm not sure.
Who
of the
said?
time.
I think it's.
I thought it was.
I would have to verify it.
All right, okay, so can someone just let me know?
Yeah.
Get that information. Okay.
Yes, discuss.
I'm going to look at my tickets.
He's gonna take it.
6 p.m.
It is.
6 p.m.?
That's what it says on the ticket.
Very good.
Wonderful.
That's nice. You got tickets.
And then on February 16th, the Harlem
There's the
Wizards
fire
will
department.
be at
Is
the,
there a fire department fundraiser coming up in March?
Yes, March 21st, Beef Steak Dinner.
What's the,
Right, I just
what's,
saw it. Beef steak dinner.
wait, tell me,
They sent out the flyer today, so let me.
okay. Beefsteak dinner, this sounds delicious.
Are there any clams at the carnival?
Just don't remember, don't eat the toast.
No, definitely not, because we don't want to fill up on the carbs and we can eat the beef.
Yeah, so it's March 21st at 7 p.m. 7, yeah, $60 a person.
Okay.
Include beer, wine, and soda.
And beef.
where's it at?
Lots of beef, bread holding contest for dinner.
Where is it?
At the VFW.
VFW?
What, I apologize, what's the time?
7 o'clock.
Okay, excellent. Well, we have 2 fundraisers coming up.
And the other thing, February 2nd is Groundhog's Day. Happy Groundhog's Day. And then
Telling you.
and on a solemn note, and I'm sure everybody's well aware, my thoughts and everyone agrees and prayers to the victims of the LA fires. I also took note on social media. It's sad when there's human life lost and there's possessions lost, houses gone. But they do say the wildlife and pets, too. It's
Yes,
just
yes.
so
It's just
sad.
staggering, it's awful.
Our prayers and thoughts go out to them.
It's
Absolutely.
like 6 times larger than the Chicago fire.
It's unbelievable. When you
historical-
see an aerial of it, it's
Awful.
They have arrested at
Can't
least
even
4 people.
imagine.
So people are manually setting these fires. I read, I saw
Just crazy.
at least 4 have been arrested setting fires. I don't know if they initially started it or they're continuing it. It's the worst time because of the winds, hurricane force winds, definitely
I
fan
just
flames.
thought of something I wanted to point out. I watched the New Jersey Channel in the morning, and the newest carjacking, somebody was getting gas, and of course, in Jersey, we don't we don't pump our gas, but the guy got out, was talking with the attendant, I guess he knew him. A car pulls up, the person got out of the passenger side, crawled, opened the door, jumped in the car just as the attendant was taking the nozzle out, and pulled away with the guy's car. So the car that brought him pulled out first, he pulled out, and the guy was standing there. You see him crawling on the ground because the person getting gas was standing by the pump talking to whoever, he evidently knew him. So it had to be a neighborhood because you wouldn't get out, like your
Right.
people that you get your gas from.
Right.
So they had to be trailing this guy. So I'm just saying, keep your eyes open, make sure your
Stay in your
doors
car
are
when you're getting your
locked.
gas.
When you're in the car.
Yeah.
Make sure they're locked. At a light, they'll open the car door, and that's the end of it.
Just drive older cars that they don't want.
That helps too.
That's my way.
That helps too.
Was it in Red Bank? It was in Red Bank. There
I'll leave
you
the
go.
keys in it,
I
then I'll
couldn't
take it.
believe it. Crawled right into the car, so just be careful.
Was that in Jersey?
Red Bank.
Oh, right back to Frank.
Yeah.
They use that creativity for project.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, if there's nothing else to be brought before the borough, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Councilwoman Giordano Paterno, seconded by Councilman Scurries. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.